In the year 1258, as the winds of change swept across the ancient world, the city of Baghdad stood as a glittering jewel of knowledge, culture, and power. Scholars filled its libraries, merchants crowded its markets, and the great house of wisdom preserved secrets of civilizations long past. Under the rule of the Abbasid Caliphate, Baghdad was more than a city. It was a symbol of human achievement, where science, philosophy, and art thrived together in rare harmony. But beyond the horizon, an unstoppable force was approaching. The Mongol army, led by Hulagu Khan, grandson of the legendary conqueror Genghis Khan. The people of Baghdad had heard whispers of cities turned to ash, rivers running red, and walls crumbling before the thunder of hooves. Yet many believed their mighty city would endure. As the Mongols encircled Baghdad, fear crept into the hearts of its citizens, but the caliph remained hesitant, hoping diplomacy might save them. Messengers came and went, carrying words that dissolved like dust in the face of Mongol resolve. Turned into nights as tension thickened like smoke in the air. Inside the city, some prepared for battle, reinforcing walls and sharpening blades, while others prayed in mosques, hoping for divine intervention. Markets that once buzzed with laughter grew quiet, and even the scholars in the House of Wisdom sensed that the fate of their treasured knowledge hung by a fragile thread. Then the storm broke. The Mongols unleashed their fury with terrifying precision. Siege engines hurled massive stones against the city walls, each strike echoing like thunder. The ground trembled, and with it, the confidence of Baghdad's defenders. The Mongols diverted the Tigris River to weaken the city's defenses, showcasing not only brute strength but calculated strategy. Despite fierce resistance, the defenders were overwhelmed. When the walls finally fell, chaos erupted like a wildfire. Fires spread across neighborhoods, consuming homes, mosques, and libraries alike. The once proud streets echoed with cries of despair as the invaders surged through the city. The House of Wisdom, a beacon of learning for centuries, was not spared. Manuscripts, some of which existed nowhere else on Earth, were thrown into the river or burned. It is said that the Tigris ran black with ink from countless destroyed books, a haunting image that symbolizes the loss of human knowledge in those tragic days. Scholars who had dedicated their lives to preserving wisdom now faced the unbearable choice between fleeing for survival or staying behind to protect their life's work. Yet amid the devastation, stories of courage emerged like flickers of light in the darkness. Some scholars risked their lives to hide precious manuscripts, burying them beneath floors or smuggling them out of the city under the cover of night. Families clung to one another, shielding children from the horrors unfolding around them. There were even accounts of individuals who stood bravely against the invaders, knowing they could not win, but refusing to surrender their dignity. These small acts of defiance and humanity gave the tragedy a powerful emotional depth that continues to resonate through history. The fall of Baghdad was not merely the destruction of a city. It marked the end of an era. The Abbasid Caliphate, once a dominant force in the Islamic world, crumbled under the weight of the invasion. The cultural and intellectual heart of the region was silenced, and the shockwaves of this event rippled far beyond the city's ruins. Trade routes shifted, centers of learning relocated, and the balance of power across continents began to change. What makes this story endure through centuries is not only the scale of destruction, but the lessons it carries. It is a reminder of how fragile even the greatest civilizations can be when faced with internal weakness and external threats. It highlights the importance of unity, foresight, and the protection of knowledge. Today, the fall of Baghdad feels almost cinematic, a moment when history itself seemed to shatter, leaving behind echoes of both brilliance and loss. And yet, from the ashes,